Hello, hi, I'm Gemma Griffiths, and I am sitting down with an absolute queen, a multi-award-winning singer, songwriter, performer, and actress, Ammara Brown. From a rich musical legacy, she's a true trailblazer with hits such as Achilles and standout collaborations with Titan, XQ, Mr. Easy, and the late, great Hugh Masekela. With sold-out shows, global performances, and an influence that spans generations, Ammara has firmly put Zimbabwe on the world music map. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe to YouTube and you never miss a moment of Hello Hi with Gemma. Ammara, hello, hi.
Hello, hi.
Hey, Mama. I am so glad we are here.
I'm so happy.
Oh my gosh. Thanks for gracing us with your presence and welcome to the show. I'm so excited too. We're going to dive right in. You have been in music from a young age and grown into one of Zimbabwe's most celebrated musicians. Can you take us back to your childhood or a moment when you knew that music was going to be in your life?
Oh my goodness. It was always a part of my life, like from day one. My dad was obviously a musician, so there was always a musician playing somewhere in the house, and apparently I was a bit of a fussy baby. I wanted to be like sang to, and so him and Keith Ferguson would like play guitar and, play a little piano to put me to sleep. And very soon, like I was in creche and I love to perform, in creche they love a sing song and, you get to sing the national anthem and all those kind of things. And I grew up in choir and it was just like a very consistent part of my life. And when I moved to the States, I was probably like 11 years old. And I remember by that point, I'd already done a little bit of work in front of the camera, like as an actress. And that was my first job. I was 9 years old. And I got to work with Tuku and stay up late till 2 a.m. So I already had like a very fond, like warmness about the industry and what it seemed like. But I wasn't sure yet. Like I just thought, oh, I'm good at that and that's fun. And then I was 12 and I got a solo in choir. And I remember when I was singing that solo, like I never forget that feeling. I had my eyes closed and I just let everything out. And I felt so free. It felt like a bird being let out of a cage. And I knew, like, when the teacher told me, oh, you've got the solo, I ran home. Like, I remember jumping off the bus and I was like, oh, I can't wait to tell my mom, like, I've got the solo. But actually, I want to do this for the rest of my life. And I remember telling my mom that, and she was like, professionally? And I was like, yeah, this is it. This is what I want to do. And she said, okay. And she knew because she had been with my dad when he was still, like, back in the day, like coming up before Andy Brown was a huge deal. And she was married to him when it was still like grit, And so I knew when she said she believed in me and she knew what I wanted to do. She trusted that process and she was so present. I was very blessed in that regard.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, to have a supportive mom like that.
So blessed.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. It makes all the difference.
My first studio session, I remember she paid for it. I was 12. Yeah. She was my first demo. She was just like, don't worry.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. And God, when I remember listening to myself for the first time, I was like, is that how I sound?
I'm glad that was your response.
Yeah, I was already a perfectionist. Like, that wasn't right. That note, well, I could do that better. I need to do that again. And, but it was the beginning of a beautiful insanity.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. It's so funny you say that because my mom also paid for my first studio session.
Yeah.
I did a bunch of demos on a guitar.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is amazing. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And then I listen back now and I'm like, oh no. Oh no.
Well, at least you still have it to look back on. I don't even know where that CD went.
Yeah,
it's gone.
I found it years later. And I was like, this is a lot. This is a lot.
But you can also like appreciate the growth.
Thank God.
Do you know what I mean?
Thank God.
Yeah. You did great.
I love it. And obviously that like was such a massive breakthrough moment for you in terms of that realization. Was there a breakthrough moment in your career when you were like, okay, this feels real now?
I think I was probably on Idols. I was 19 and I was backstage and there was 1,000 people in this place called the Boma in Nairobi, and the sound of the fans screaming, my stomach was turning. And I was so nervous because I was exhausted by that point. We were in the top six, and my ulcers were flaring up. I developed ulcers with all the stress.
Oh my goodness.
And I remember just asking God, like, please, can you give me 5 minutes on the stage? I could barely stand, like, I was so ill. But all of a sudden, when I got on stage, I was performing Brenda Fassie's Vulindlela. And man, I was barefoot. That was probably that first like real barefoot goddess moment where I was just like, I'm gonna kill this performance. And the crowd went wild, and I just felt so authentically at home on that stage and just bringing forth a performer that I was proud of. And I think that was a really important turning point for me.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. To also be able to remember that feeling.
Never forgot it.
No.
Never forgot it. Still treasure it today.
Sheesh.
Yeah, still
Amazing.
experiencing it. You know,
Yeah.
the nerves, the butterflies,
All
the
the
stuff,
good
you know,
bits,
and
yeah.
then because I had my first show in over a year, like my first show after giving birth, and there were those butterflies and all the feelings, and I could hear like I don't know 20,000 people outside. I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. But as soon as I got on stage, it was like, let's go.
Yeah. You just click into this mode of like, this is what I'm built to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Your music blends Afropop, R&B, and contemporary Zimbabwean sounds in a way that feels completely your own. How did you discover your signature style? Was it a natural journey or more of a trial and error process?
Definitely trial and error.
Yeah.
I remember working with different producers. I think I had started in South Africa actually. I do remember working with Zetu Mashika. I remember working with Ammunition. I was trying to figure out like where's that golden place. And at the time there was no Afro beats per se. There was no like Afro pop wasn't quite uh at the place that it got to when like all of it came to a balance. So I was very much like R&B-ish. Oh my goodness. I'm now like remembering I had a record deal and all this kind of crazy thing. Anyway, so I got pregnant.
Yeah.
And I decided I wanted to raise my child in Zimbabwe. I was like, nope, I'm not doing this in Joburg. I want to go home. And that was part of just one of the best decisions I ever made
Yeah.
because in Zimbabwe, not only did I get to understand how distinctive I was given the room to trailblaze in my own way. I had a strong pushback. So there were the expectations of who Ammara Brown should be. So they wanted like a female version of Andy Brown and you should sing your father's songs, you know. And I'm like, no, he is who he is in his own greatness. But that's not enough. Like I have a different story and a different experience, and I have a different sound to make and create and tell and be, and that I think was a worthy journey. So everything from being able to do like cover songs and stuff like that, I got to see like the different sides of Harare, like uptown, downtown, wherever town, you know. And because I had worked with my dad for so long, there was this nice kind of fusion that was happening in my head slowly but surely. And so I could feel what the audience wanted in different moments. By the time I was working in studio, I didn't mind taking years, in fact, to really refine what that sound became. Fast forward to years later, from Kure Kure, I think that was maybe 2013. That was like a really nice golden pocket because it wasn't quite my sound, but it also showcased I'm a mbira player and I love this, and this is also authentic to who I am as an artist, but not quite. And I'm very comfortable singing in English, so let me do that, because there was also a pushback about like who's going to listen to somebody who's singing in English? And I'm just like, yeah, they will listen because I will make beautiful music. And I think people can always pick up authenticity with how you
100%.
feel. And there's certain things that are best said in English. There's certain things that are best said in Shona. I'm aware of those two feelings in a very real way, and I'm unapologetic about how I put that in the production space. Soon I got to work with brilliant producers who got the memo. Everybody from Jusa to DJ Tamuka to Chiweda to I had just this wonderful experience working with Zimbabwean producers as they were coming up as like these super beasts, like a new
Yeah.
age of super beast, you know? And it was great. It was great. Now I feel very free because I think Zimbabwe now knows like what Ammara wants to do.
She's gonna do
she's
it.
gonna do it.
Yes.
And I think that's supposed to be how it feels to do what you love.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't come for shekels.
No,
we came,
100%.
we came to give what only we can give.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think you're so right. Like, we didn't come for shackles. You can't. People love to box in creatives and,
Yeah.
and music. Like what genre do you?
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I mean?
no, we don't do
And
that.
it's so good to be able to not.
It
To
is.
just do.
It is. But you got to be brave about it.
You have to be brave.
Yeah, you got to be brave, and it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe you. I'm following you. Don't you worry.
You're on a roll, girl.
Thanks,
You're doing
girlfriend.
great.
Thanks,
You're
girlfriend.
doing great.
Looking back at your career, what is a milestone, whether an award or a performance or a collaboration, that still makes you proud every time you think of it?
Woo! Oh man. Oh gosh, this
So
like
many.
yeah, it's like oh I don't know about one. When I released my debut album.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember how much it took to produce that super beast and how scary it was to say this is it, this is the album. And it wasn't perfect. Like I remember like a week before and 3 days before the album launched, like it was like pulling teeth, going back and forth with the studio, which was here in Joburg, because I had recorded at Jazz and sent the steps this way to Joburg, and it just wasn't. I was not happy with how things were, and at the same time, the Achilles music video was in edit. It was chaos everywhere. But when I look back on it now, I'm so proud I was able to take the leap.
Yeah.
I think as a perfectionist, it can get in the way of progress.
Oh, girl.
Yeah. We're Virgos, you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
There's only so many times you can like refix a song.
You're just like, good God. And when I look back on it now, I'm just like, well done, Ammara. Nothing was perfect. Absolutely nothing you wanted in, every, to the T's and the dots but you did it.
And you let
And
it
you
out.
held your head up and you let it out and you let the world see and hear the sound as it was. And I'm very happy when I look back on that because
Yeah.
it gave me free reign, a sort of an establishment that I wasn't just somebody who was able to create a bunch of hits. I could make something that was holistic and beautiful, and it was able to sort of showcase like my versatility. I don't think people One of my favorite things actually was fans like coming across songs like Ode to Mama, which was something I had written after my mom passed away, and it was so vulnerable and so acoustic, like, it was live band, drums, guitar, bass, very minimalistic and very different to the other side of the album. And I love that. I loved being able to showcase that. I think a lot of people are afraid to have an album that is holistic. They just want something that's going to be a hit, or that sounds TikTok worthy or whatever. And I look at that with a lot of pride and joy. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good to hear.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I think you're so right. I think being somebody who is so focused on perfection to release your debut album,
Yeah.
like the things that spin through your head,
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
incredible. And an album it was, girl.
Yes. Thank you.
Social media plays such a huge role today. How has it helped you grow your career and connect with your fans?
Social media gave me the opportunity to speak to my fans as a human being. I think that a lot of the time, artists used to be at the mercy of what other people would say, what a journalist would say, how they would interpret a story. And I'm very sure you've experienced this like 1,000 times, where you have an interview and then they rewrite it in a way that's like, no, but that's not what I said and that's not what I meant. And it alters how people view you and how people see you. I think it's so challenging already to be an artist who is a human being and separating the product.
Yeah.
So there's the thought process of just like, they talk about us like we're inanimate objects. you know.
Yeah.
And with social media, I get to speak when I want to. When I don't, I don't.
Yeah.
And I get to cry when I want to and share that and connect with my fans directly. There's no in between. It's just me and my fans, and it's our space.
Yeah.
So I always focused on specifically garnering a following that was true to me and sincerely like understood and appreciated the artist that I was and the woman that I was, as I've grown through, because like I feel like we've grown together, you
Yeah.
know. I was 20 something. My mother, I remember when I was on Idols, she was doing like half of my social media. Like she loved Facebook, and I was just like, yeah, okay, I don't get,
Yeah.
I don't get it. But when I did finally get into it, it was so great, and I was able to humanize my walk and my experience. And I think that's probably the best part of social media. I mean, you know, the social aspect can
Yeah.
often get so lost in all the murk and the glitz and the glam, and I think I'm grateful for that. It's good growth
Yeah.
even today. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And if you were speaking to a young creative and you wanted to give them one piece of advice about social media and handling it, what do you think you'd say?
There's so much about being in touch with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When I speak of authenticity, I find the challenge is a lot of people say, I want to sound like that, or I want to look like that, and I want to, come across um, in certain aspects. And it's fair and fine to grab inspiration from
Mm-hmm.
other people. But you also have to know there are things that only you can deliver. There's something about your personality, there's something about the way that you talk, there's something about the way that you dance, the way that you eat, the way that you live, that is simply for your market in particular. And when you show that, the people come to you. They
Yeah.
will come to what is good and what is real. And in a world that is praising and also like struggling with like what is real these days. Like, is this really Gemma that I'm seeing on camera, or is this an AI generated piece of content
Yeah.
of who she is? Do you get what I'm saying? And so we're sort of creating a yearning for that realness.
Yeah.
That's the irony of it all. And so if you bring that to the forefront, even if you're songwriting, or even if you're battling with the songwriting, or you're having a difficulty with, some kind of choreography, or whatever it is, that human struggle is what people come to see.
100%.
That part.
100%. And I think you're so right. Like we almost yearn for that authenticity, you know? And as a creative, like if you start out being like, I'm just gonna be authentic, you don't have to think as
It's
much. You
not so
don't have
hard.
to be
Yeah.
like, oh, how do I be this person?
Yeah.
And in the long run, if it ends up going well and you're growing, like you're gonna thank yourself so much
Yeah.
that you don't have to continue to put on this
Yeah.
persona,
Yeah.
and you can just be like, oh, I'm
Oh,
just gonna
because
be
that's
myself.
exhausting.
Oh
Nobody
my
can do
goodness,
that.
it's exhausting enough
Yeah.
as it is to
Yeah.
be yourself.
It's like a good God who has the energy for
Oh
that.
gosh,
No. Do you?
100%.
Do you, boo boo?
Do you, boo boo?
Mm.
Speaking of your fans, the Martians,
Mm.
they're incredibly devoted.
Yeah.
You have a die-hard fan base.
Yeah.
Has there been a particular interaction or a fan story that's really touched you or surprised you with its impact?
Album launch. Um, I'm backstage and I can kind of see, the people as they filtered in, places packed now. And one of my team members says, "Hey, do you recognize that person?" And I was like, "Who's that?" And he was like, "Do you remember the Martian from your comment section?" And I was like, "Oh, that's her." And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, okay, great. I hope we get to like see her after."
Mm-hmm.
And fast forward to all these years later, from that day, I met her when we were taking pictures. She became like one of my favorite people on earth, basically.
Yeah.
As often as I can make time for her, I'll cook for her, I'll hang out with her, we'll gossip about
Yeah.
our own lives, if that's called gossip, because it's your life. but, and watching her just grow as a poet, as a
Yeah.
creative, as a woman, as an artist, it's been super beautiful to see. And in moments when I didn't really feel inspired, she comes out and she's creating all these beautiful pieces of content and all these beautiful poems and just coming across just in such fantastic ways. I'm like, come on, girl.
Let's
I'm
go,
getting,
girl.
yeah. So like I inspired her, but she landed up inspiring me.
Yeah.
And when I think about that, I'm just like, you can't ask for much more than that out of
No.
I mean, she named herself the Martian, and I was like, okay, girl,
I
you
mean,
own
even
that.
it's
But she
insane.
is.
Even when I ask that question, I immediately think of her.
Yeah.
I'm just like, she's so great.
Yeah.
She's
Exactly.
amazing.
Exactly.
It must feel very, very special
It
to
is.
be able to connect with people like that.
Every time,
Yeah.
every time. It's watching the people grow with you in their own
100%.
ways.
100%.
Money can't buy that.
No,
No.
it cannot.
Mm.
The entertainment industry isn't always easy. Can you share one of the toughest or hardest hurdles that you've had to face and what you've learned from it?
Ooh. Ah. There have been a lot of hurdles.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is to do with the double standards that we experience as being women in this industry. I cannot name particular instances because I think I've spoken about them before, but there are, double standards about the way that I've dressed, and what that is perceived as, the way that I am addressed in public and interacted with. I've been molested in public. I thought my clothes were going to be ripped apart at this one particular show. It was so terrible and so traumatic. I remember going backstage and just like bawling my eyes out before, and I hadn't even performed yet. So like I had to cry and then like put myself together and somehow perform to this very audience that a portion had put me through hell with. It was just, when I think about things like that and the lack of empathy and understanding that people have towards women in this industry, it's very telling of where society is at.
Yeah.
And I think as my journey grew and I began to understand what the societal nuances were, what the cultures were, and the traditions around it, and learning how women are respected, I had to push harder. I had to stand my ground and plant my feet, dig a little deeper
Yeah.
to be authentically me and unapologetic and continue to have difficult conversations, whether it's about being a woman, whether it's about gender based violence. I went through a long spurt in my career um, between maybe 2019 and 20 till today, actually, speaking about GBV and what women are experiencing, um, because we are the backbone of society.
Mm.
And I think even from a creative place, we bring something completely different to the table. So in different spaces, you may not be respected the same just off of the basis that just like, oh, she's a woman, like, we can just treat her some type of way. But when there's a man at the table, they treat them some type of way. So I stopped being as nice as you expect me to be all the time. Just because I'm being direct does not mean I'm being. Can I swear on this show?
Yeah. Sure.
I'm not being a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm being honest. And when a woman is being honest and setting those boundaries, that's it. I'm just doing business.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to my manager. Okay.
Yeah.
If you have any more questions, or rather learning that, and my manager's a woman as well.
Yeah.
I've had a female manager forever, and it's been so beautiful working with these incredible women who are unafraid to go into a space and stand their ground and represent me to the best of their
100%.
abilities, and so I think owning my differences and being fearless and being brave about what it is I believe in, the standards that I hold, the things that I want, the things that I deserve, and letting the chips fall where they may. Those that are for me will stay at the table because
Yes,
they
girl.
know they're just like, you can't find no Ammara Brown anywhere else.
No.
So we better see to deal and understand. And I think I've raised the standards for how we are treated, um, not just locally but internationally as well. I've experienced quite a bit of that, so it's been nice to see that change over the decade that I've worked in this industry.
As a female Zimbabwean musician who has, come after you,
Mm.
like us girls, we owe you so much because you really have fought a lot of the hard fights, you know, that we've been able to step into a still problematic music industry 100% as women, but not having to fight every single battle, you know, from the get-go. It's women like you, it's women like Salma, you know, it's these women who
It's
really
a team
have
effort. Yeah.
who have made it. Well,
And I'm getting kind of emotional. I'm like, good
it's
Lord,
fine. I have these things.
we go through it.
This is good.
We go
This
through
is
it.
good. Yeah,
But we push. Yeah. Because I know if I drop the ball,
yeah.
then those that are coming after me are just going to have an even harder journey. And I can't do that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So keep doing what you do, boo.
Yes, girl. Keep doing what you do, boo. Thank God. Thank God for Ammara Brown.
Bless you.
You wear so many hats, Ammara. You're a singer, a songwriter, a performer, an actress, a mentor.
Phew.
How do you balance the different elements that make you Ammara and stay true to all of them?
I try to stay present within myself. I think the beautiful thing about being a creative is that it's a I want to even say it's a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
So you know, Gemma, you're walking around the kitchen, and or it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You're trying to fall asleep, and a song is playing in your head. Ah, what's this thing? And you can't sleep. You can't sleep because now you're just like, no, I need to. Oh my God, I'm so tired. But
Yeah.
you reach out for your phone to record this idea, and you're just like, I'll come back to it. And you do it, and you put it aside, and that's it. And I think honoring each of those moments as they are helps you propel all of these pieces simultaneously.
100%.
Because I think as women, naturally, we are multifaceted. So you wear the mom hat, you wear the sister hat, you wear the friend hat, you wear the businesswoman's hat. You got to switch between like all these roles all day. And when I'm sitting next to the producer and I'm just like, no, change this, arrange that, move that, do this. I think I hear something. And then like step back. And then I'm just like, okay, now I have to sing it like this. What do you think? And then like stepping back and also acknowledging like in this moment I'm a singer, so I need the ear of the producer to tell me, did I just hear what I just heard? No, play it again. Can we do this differently? How do you feel? Like at the moment I'm so blessed because I'm working with Brian Soko and we're just having the most amazing time.
Yeah.
Going back and forth in my album and fumbling and winning and doing all the stuff that is the creative messy space, but just acknowledging in humility that I am all these things, and I don't work a 9 to 5. I am my own boss.
Yeah.
And in these 10 minutes I can do this, and in those 15 minutes I can do that, and that's okay.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's a very good answer. I'm into this.
It's very true.
A massive shout out to our sponsor for this episode, Click Send Now, for quick, instant, and affordable money transfers to Zimbabwe. Big love. Congratulations on the birth of your second child.
The look on your face.
I'm so in love with her. Just saying. How?
I love it.
Congratulations
Thank
on the
you.
birth of your second child.
Thank you.
How has this new chapter shaped your outlook on life, your music, and even the way you approach your creativity?
Oh my goodness. I tell you, my pregnancy made me pause. I had no choice but to pause. I nearly lost the baby the day after I became pregnant, or found out I was pregnant rather. And the doctor was like, "No, you've got to stop everything. You have to go on bed rest." Yeah, and I was like, "What?" But I've got so many things to do. I was like, 80% done with my album.
Yeah.
I had just shot a music video. I had more to do. I was just like, but I still need to do. And she was like,
No.
"You can't do anything. You have to park it." And I was like, oh my God. And so my whole world shifted so drastically in 24 hours. I was spinning, and everything from the smell of an onion to
Oh no, not the onions.
oh my God, a garlic of just everything was hitting me all at once. I was always vomiting and brrr. It was just a very challenging first trimester. Like it just swallowed me whole. And I had no room to be the Ammara that I really knew and loved. And it was disheartening at first and lonely, actually. Um, some of the people in my life that I thought were so sincerely understanding and loving of who I was and would give me the empathy that I needed did not.
Wow.
And so I just had this like huge growth spurt in that small space of time because I was like, I'm going to be here for myself
Yeah.
because I can, because I need to be. And I'm going to stand my ground in a different way that I never thought I'd have to do. And I'm going to choose peace. If anything disturbs my peace, I'm not doing it. If anybody is bringing me drama, I'm not doing it. And I had come to that place in my life individually, but that extent was not as strong. I think there was still people in my life I still like left wiggle room for, no matter what it was that they were going through, because I'm an empath and I love to show up for my people. Fast forward into the second trimester, and that was magnificent. I was like, woo, this is so great. Yeah, this is so amazing. Because I dreamt of my daughter in December. I didn't know it was a girl. And literally a month later, we had a gender reveal. I cried so much. I was so happy. I've always wanted to be a girl mom. And my partner also wanted a girl. So it was just like, pew, 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 like flowers and roses and fireworks all in one go. And I had a beautiful baby shower. I remember I sent you the invites, but you were like working. And I was like, oh my God, I wish I could make it, my fairy. But
Auntie
it was
Gemma.
so great. Oh, Auntie Gemma. I mean, of course, eventually the third trimester came and it was, yeah, it was, it was peak. It was really peak season and my labor was, oh, so traumatic. It was very challenging within itself. I was induced and then that failed after about 8 hours. And oh, without getting into too much detail, I landed up having to go into emergency C-section. And it was like climbing out of the trenches because there's these two spaces where you're so happy. Like, I couldn't wait to meet my daughter. But at the same time, I'm dealing with the biggest hormonal crash of my life because that's what happens after you give birth and all this trauma from the labor experience. And yet, there's this wonderful human being that I'm holding for the first time ever. And I'm madly in love with her essence and her existence. And I had to make space to hold both those things at the same time because I'm a human being. And I think a lot of women don't talk about that. They don't talk about the challenges and the difficulties because you're supposed to be all like happy and da 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 da. And you can be judged. I saw somebody like one of my best girlfriends in the world, Lorraine Guyo, she posted, she was like, oh, please help me congratulate my sister Ammara Brown because I had not announced the birth till like 3 months later. And there was this picture of me holding a Xena. And this woman says in the comment section, too posh to push.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I was like, what kind of a person talks to a mother like this? And I went on her profile picture and I saw she's a mom. And I was like,
It's not mathing.
yeah. I was like, how dare you? Of all the people in the world, you're a mom. I would expect you to show me compassion and empathy in this moment. So, realizing that not everybody deserves your story, but not everybody is going to understand because there was a wonderful support system around me. I had the most beautiful partner who was like bathing the baby and like bringing me breakfast. And my son was like, Mommy, do you need anything? And like, my manager like came the day after I gave birth. She was like my momager. That's what I call her. She came like literally the day after I gave birth. She helped me bath. Do you understand? Like literally stood there and like because you've had a major operation and I don't know if anything can prepare you for all of those things happening all at one time. And it just changed how I felt about giving myself the room to not be all powerful all the time. Going into my little cocoon with my baby, not being apologetic. Like, I'm not at work, I'm not sharing this with the world right now. I'm just enjoying breastfeeding right now, just having this like wonderful connection with this wonderful person. Oh, look at all this little red hair. Oh, so cute with her ginger brows, and just her sweetness and her softness, and acknowledging like I can only do so much for you in this world. Like I have this wonderful golden period, and I probably won't do this again ever, and this will never happen again. Like this is such a golden, precious moment. It just was a whirlwind of emotions, and I'm just about coming out of the out of the fourth trimester, as they would call it, and working hard to get my body back, working hard to get my voice back, because my voice had dropped so significantly in range, and realizing like I can do this again. I'm a new person. I will never be the same Ammara that I was a year ago, and that's okay. There's so many things that I've learned in this period. There's so many situations I've had to handle with so much grace, and it's a new kind of powerful. Yeah, a lot.
Yes.
It's a lot of
Oh my
things.
gosh. Thank you, Azina.
Oh, Azina.
Oh, our baby.
She's so cute.
Oh, she's
It was so great
perfect.
when you finally got to meet her.
She's so perfect.
No, you gotta come back. You gotta see her now. Like it's been like 2 months. Oh my
I
goodness. The
know.
cheeks.
Little
And now she's
tiny.
got a little bit of a personality, you know. She's
Little
very aware.
feet.
She like she met Brian Soko
Yeah.
yesterday, and she was looking at his face, like staring. He's like, she's really staring at me. I'm like, yes, she's mastering your face. So the next time you walk through the door, she's gonna know who you are. And he's like, oh, look at this. She's so alert and da da da. And she was giggling, and it's a wonderful time because now I sing to her like I practice like that's my vocal lesson every day. Like I'm singing to her, and today I was singing this song that I wrote with Adiona Maboreke. We recorded something a couple of weeks ago.
Amazing.
So I'm practicing it in the house because we've got to do like a live recording of this thing, and it's quite beautiful. It's actually about friendship.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm singing it, and there's my daughter like she's giggling and she's so happy just listening
what
to
are
me.
you doing, Mom?
Ah, it's so great.
Oh my
It's so
gosh.
great. Like all these beautiful things are happening simultaneously all at once. Life is so messy, isn't it?
Yeah.
In a beautiful way.
But it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's the best.
It's the best.
It's the best mess.
I'm living my best life,
Oh,
baby.
that's
I am.
amazing.
I
And
am.
speaking of writing and recording, you've got an album coming.
Yes.
Tell us everything.
Phew. Where to start? It is a wildly beautiful album. I'm so proud of this thing right now. I'm just like, my greatest challenge is holding it in.
Yeah.
Just because like I'm so tempted to just like leak the whole thing. Just
Oh
like
my
here,
gosh.
take
Leak
it,
Mozilla.
just all of it. Take it because it's that great. I've had such a good time writing and recording so much of this album. As I said, I got to work with Brian Soko. He's been like my main go-to guy in terms of not just production but recording, but had some wonderful producers. I'm just like, where do I start? Of course, Brian Soko is one of the producers. We've got Dr. Blacks on there. Um, we've got Verseless as well. We've got Chiweda in there. It's just like this like melting pot of all this like yummy. We've even got some Gangster Made It. We've got some Zambian producers in there as well. Magician is in there from Zambia. Jazzy Boy as well from Zambia. I am just so happy with all the various sounds that have come together. Everything from like house to R&B to Charlie K is also one of the producers on the album. I'm like, girl, when I look at the album, I'm just like, it's just such a beast, and I'm so happy with all the different aspects of the album in terms of the storytelling. So you've got your super like in love, because obviously like I fell in love while I was making this album.
Yes, girl.
I fell in love with myself. I fell in love with Daniel, um, who is now Brown Sullen.
My gosh.
He changed his name.
I'm so proud of him. Let's
I'm
go.
like so in love. I all sorts of stuff is playing in my head right now about how that came to be. And then there's like lovers only type vibes, like sexy on 1000.
Oh,
Like girl, it's
yes.
giving the bedroom hard. And like truly, like it all sounds very international. I tell you, I always used to be so afraid of like Zimbabweans, like are they ready for me to say these things? But I'm just like, yes they are. They'll deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, at my age, like it's not for the kids. It's not for the kids. Okay?
It's not for the kids.
This album is not for the kids. Don't do it. But for the lovers and the adults and even the heartbreak. There's some very sincere heartbreak stories. And of course, I got to get you on the album yesterday. So I am
OMG.
smiling. I've got Motheo on the album
Oh.
and a few other wonderful people. Girl,
Oh my gosh, it sounds amazing.
it's called Flaming Lily
Yes.
because it's the national flower I am. I
Flaming
sincerely
Lily.
feel that that is who I am, and the album is just giving all those vibes.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Flaming Lily coming to a
Yes.
screen near you sometime soon. Coming to your earphones.
All of it.
This is so exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you. And the name is giving. Flaming Lily.
you.
This is the first time I've heard the name of the album.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be great.
Flaming
I
Lily.
hope we get to shoot our music video. I'm still
Yes.
cooking all of that.
We
It's
will.
gonna. That's the difficult part, right? Holding your breath until you can properly
like,
roll
"Wait."
it out to the people
Yeah.
because it has to be good.
But I know that feeling when you got a song as well and you're like, this needs to come out yesterday.
Oh, God.
This needs to be outside already.
You did great in studio yesterday. I can't wait
Thank
for
you,
people to
Mama.
hear
That
that.
was so much
They're not
fun.
expecting that sound.
No.
Yeah.
No, I was not expecting that sound.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. No, it was very fun.
Part of the
I
magic.
was having so much fun. Speaking of your songs, they often carry such strong emotions and cultural depth. What has inspired your songwriting and what brings that inspiration to life? Like when you go from, okay, this is what I want to create, what is it that you do to get to where you want?
You know, a lot of my songs are about me. So it's kind of like my therapy.
Yeah. It's
It
a good way
comes
to
out.
put it.
Yeah, like
It's kind of like therapy.
you have a very potent emotion. It happens in like the drop of a hat. You can't shake this feeling. You can't you have to get it out or else you can't function. You're just like,
Yeah.
I gotta get this feeling out. This is the thing, this is the feeling, it's giving that. And then sometimes you hear this production. I remember when I went to Gangsta Made It. Okay, I swear to you, he must have played me 50 pieces of music. He went song after song after song. And when I finally found the thing I wanted, I was like that. He was like, really? He was like, okay. Okay. His manager was like so surprised. Like, we didn't see that coming. I was just like, that's because it's giving me the feelings of the things that I'm feeling. And let me do the thing because I know what I'm gonna write on this.
Yes, girl.
And they were like, okay, okay. And that I think is what makes music great. When it's forced, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
When you're trying to be too calculating and no.
It'll
When it comes
never
from here,
work.
when it comes from there, and I
Yeah.
think I feel that way about working with artists.
Yeah.
You know, people say which international collaborations, na na na, and I'm like, Chimbo Mirai, just park it because when you work with someone, no matter how big the artist is or how small the artist is, there's an authenticity, like a vibe. There's
Yeah.
a vibe check that happens, and
Yeah.
once you lock in, you can't duplicate that.
No.
Like that just happens, and it comes out in the music. And I honestly feel like that has been part of our superpowers in terms of when we collaborate with people. You can't fake the funk.
No, you can't fake the
You
funk.
can't fake the funk.
We should make t-shirts.
The whole, the whole album from start to finish
Yeah.
is juicy
Yeah.
from top to bottom. It's just
Yes,
like
girl.
it's gonna hit you in the right ways. And you know what? You gotta come back to Jobbing, and we're gonna do
We're
like
gonna
a
do
full
like a
listening
Oh.
session. You and me need to do
Yes,
that
I need
because
that.
girl,
I need that. And you're so
Yeah.
right. I think as well, like often as a creative, you can go in and if you're going to be like, okay, I have to write a song right now and you're not in that zone
You're
or
in
it's
the
not working.
zone. It doesn't
Even if
work.
you make it, you're going to listen to it the next day and be like,
nah,
it's not the one. And then you can have one day where you make like 5 or 6 in the same night and you're like, everything is absolutely golden.
Girl, I had that exact night with Adiona.
Yeah.
Like literally 2 weeks ago.
You
It was-
lucky fish.
I swear. So
So nice.
the song is called Shamwari. And I remember like I wrote my verse it was effortless. And because my girlfriends in this season, I have to say, my friends have been the most amazing, you included, have been just, you've kept me just grounded, and I felt so loved and so appreciated in the last year in such a beautiful and delicate way. And so when I was writing this, it was real. Like, I was writing verbatim how I felt. uh, no, don't sing Ammara. And
Don't sing, Ammara. We don't mind.
Don't do it now. Because I gotta be fair. It's gotta come out when it's meant to
No,
come
no, no,
out.
do your thing,
That's the
do your
hard
thing.
part. I'm just like,
You can sing
I
secretly to
want
me
to.
later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it stays playing in my head rent free. The song.
Yeah.
And then we finished that recording, and then I was just like, oh, how's the rest of the album going? So she plays me something else. I'm like, oh, let me drop this. Let me drop this. I can hear something else here. Let me add this. I remember Chiweda actually saying, guys, we're not going to go home. Like,
Yeah.
we need to.
And
It
you're
was
like,
now
yes, Chiweda.
midnight. And,
Chiweda, we're not going home.
And he was like, we're not going to finish in here. Are we starting a new project at this time of night? Because I was just like, let me lay down a couple of these vocals, and then y'all can see to finish. It's that vibe that you're
Yeah.
talking about. You have
have to
those
do it
nights
when
where
it
you're just
hits.
like, ah,
Yeah.
it's coming out, it's coming out, it's coming out. And then it's so lovely. I can't stop listening to it now. I'm going back to my audios, and I'm like, yes.
And that's such a good feeling
Yes.
when you've made something and you're like, I need to listen to it 60,000 million times on very loud
Right.
headphones.
By the time it gets to the people, they're like, "Do you listen to your music?"
You're like,
and
no,
I'm
I've heard it so many
"Yeah,
times.
you don't understand."
If I released it, I must have liked it. So I've heard it so many times.
Exactly.
I know it back to front and inside out.
You see me?
100%.
You get it.
You appeared as a guest judge and mentor to emerging talent on Amazing Voices. How does that leadership experience shape the way that you see the industry and your role in it?
I always knew that I wanted to give back. And I think, when they say those who can't do teach, that becomes the difficulty because I do it so well. And you wonder, like, when will I ever have the opportunity to give back in a very raw way, unfiltered. And I think that's what Amazing Voices did for me.
Yeah.
Both seasons, I had contestants perform my music to me. That was very hard.
Wow.
It's very hard because it's even more personal when you hear it. You're just like, but also understanding the journey of being on a reality show, the journey of understanding what your sound is,
Yeah.
and being able to communicate that with artists in real time.
Yeah.
So there's so many parts that are edited out. By the time the public gets to see the episode, they're giving you one or two or three comments of, for judges, but it's bits and pieces. Whereas when we're on set, I'm going to say everything I need because that's the only opportunity I'm going to be able to tell you. This is what I picked up. This is how you can improve. This is what I loved about what you brought to the table. Keep leaning into A, B, and C.
Yeah.
And I was really grateful to have that opportunity. I would love to do that again, actually, because I think the stage is a very vulnerable place. But when you have to do it in front of the world, it makes you so brave. And you come out on the other side 10 times more powerful than when you walked in. There's Marianne, she was actually one of the vocalists in one of the groups on the show. And I got to get into studio with her the other day. She played Mbira for me the other day. And she's just like, she's so in her element right now as a musician, as an artist, as a creative. You can hear when she gets on the stage, I'm just like, yeah, girl,
Yeah.
get 'em.
Let's
Like,
go.
it's so beautiful to witness. And it's a very different kind of rewarding, honestly.
Yeah. Rewarding is a good word as well. Hey?
Yeah. Yeah.
100%. Looking back to when you were just starting out in music, if you could send a message to your younger self, what would you say?
Oh my God. I would say, Ammara, everything is going to be all right. Everything that you want is going to happen. And then some. Everything that you trained for, sacrificed for, prepared for is going to happen.
Yeah.
And so keep going. Don't quit. Just keep moving forward. Yeah.
Yes, girl.
Yeah.
Yes, girl.
Yeah.
Little Ammara.
Oh my
Don't
God.
worry.
Oh my God. I dreamt it all. That's the
Incredible.
beautiful part. I'm still going, by the way. I've
Yeah.
dreamt up more.
Yes.
So I know I'm just like, I'll get there.
I know your personality. We
Yeah.
are like, I know that
Yeah.
we have a similarity in this
Yeah.
way. And like, sometimes I think you're so right. Like, you're constantly dreaming of the next thing and the next thing, but
Yeah.
to also stop and be like, wait a second.
Do you
like,
remember when we were thinking
how far
about this
you're
thing?
living in an
Yeah.
answered prayer right now.
Yeah.
You absolutely are.
Yeah.
Yes, queen.
Exactly. Well said, darling.
Well said to you.
Yeah.
How do you hope that your journey and all you've been through inspires the young generation of African creatives? What's the legacy?
I would say my legacy is keep growing into the best version of you.
Yeah.
We're all unique. So many pieces of who I am as Ammara has so many facets and aspects that people didn't anticipate or didn't approve of, and then blah 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 blah. And it didn't matter. When all was said and done, all the things that made me weird were the things that made me great. And and I want every artist to be able to look in the mirror and see that version, like, this is where I am right now, these are my strong suits, I'm going to grow in this way, I'm going to lean into that. I want them to keep growing into their best selves. That's every person's greatest journey, I believe, is mastering yourself.
Yeah.
The dark and the light, also knowing what your flaws are and learning how to work around them and improve on them and do the best you can,
Yeah.
because that's all you can do. Life is so short, it's so long, and yet it's so short. We only get to do this one time, maybe, depending on your belief system. And even if you believe in reincarnation, you only get to live this particular existence once. So give it everything.
Yeah. Yes, girl.
Yeah.
Well said. All these little nuggets of wisdom.
Can't help it.
We need to make fridge magnets.
I'm in my
girl.
queen era.
Yes,
it's
girl.
just pouring out.
You've always been in your queen era, in
Bless
my
you,
opinion.
baby.
Okay, my fun little fun section. Let's talk Zim.
Yeah.
Quick fire round. Favorite Zimbabwean snack?
Ooh, freeze-its.
Ooh. I had a freeze it in Budiriro the other day for the first time in like years.
Me too.
And I was like, why did we stop?
And I was like, oh, this is so great.
Why did I think this was a school thing? It's not a school thing. It's my life thing. And now I have them in my freezer.
I get it.
I freeze it in my freezer. I
get it.
Every time, every day.
It's
everywhere.
wonderful.
It's always time for a freeze it. Yes, thank you. That's a good one. And no one said that yet. We're all sleeping on them right now.
No, I was in the hair salon. It was so hot in Zim. I hadn't been to Zim in a minute. And girl, I was like, it is hot in here. And they're like, can we offer you anything? I was like, I'm not in the strangest. Are there any freeze-its? And they're like, yes, actually, we can get you that. I said, great. Usually I'd ask for a wine, but for whatever reason, I was like, oh, it's hot.
Maybe we can make wine freeze-its.
Gemma.
Sorry.
You devious woman, you.
Whoops, never mind. Or do with that what you will.
Like a cocktail freezer.
Also, do you know the little cell phones with the juice? Those things.
You love those?
I love those things. Mostly because I pretend to phone people.
You're a weirdo.
They're
I
so
love you.
good. I love them. I'm still a child in my heart, I swear. It's
important. I think you're supposed to carry all your ages with you.
Yeah.
To be very
that's
honest,
such a
do you know what I mean?
true
Like
thing.
sometimes I'm like, it's my little girl. I want to paint. I want to play with flowers. I want to walk in the grass. Like, I think that's beautiful. I don't think we're supposed to leave behind any ages. I just think you pick little moments where you're just like, this feels like a time to do.
I'm still 8-year-old Ammara as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
because they're all in there.
They're in there.
Yeah,
I love that.
Somebody is just in the driver's seat.
Yes.
Yeah.
And today it's the 7-year-old with the cell phone with juice inside. Tell me one place in Zimbabwe that you think everybody should see at least once in their lifetime.
Oh, that's easy. Mosotho Atunya.
Oh, Mosotho Atunya.
I mean. Whenever you go there, it's just it gives you that.
And you go every time, and it feels as good as the last time.
You know what I mean? It gives you pause. I think it's so important to feel small in the world.
Yeah.
To just remember you're just one beautiful piece of the fabric that makes up the universe. And when I go there, I have that such feeling.
Yeah. Yes, girl.
Yeah.
Is there a cause or issue, and I know you've touched on GBV, in Zimbabwe that you're passionate about highlighting? Would you say that that's something that you're very passionate about?
1000%. I say this from both perspectives. I say it from the perspective of the abused and from the perspective of the abuser. Um, my understanding is that people who do abuse were also abused. That's my understanding. And somewhere along the line, that was normalized for them.
Yeah.
So I think that in two parts, teaching the person who's being abused, like, you need to get out of that.
Yeah.
You need to step away from that. I think that in Zimbabwe, it becomes an even more challenging aspect off of the basis that so many women will say, well, I don't work. I stay at home with the kids. If I leave, what will happen to me financially? But the thing is that when women are murdered, 9 times out of 10, they're murdered by the person right next to them. It's a boyfriend or lover. It's not, you know how, like, as a woman, you're so afraid to walk at 2 o'clock at night because
Yeah.
something will happen to you? It's more likely that the person that you trust is going to be the one. And trying to explain that to somebody who's being abused is so challenging. It makes it such a delicate, intricate piece of work to unravel. And then there's the person who's doing the abusing, who certainly learned it somewhere and certainly normalized that somewhere. And they duplicate that over and over. So it's like this catastrophic destruction that multiplies in all directions, in their own lives, in the people that experience it, in the people that witness it, in the people that have to tolerate it. It is something we are still working on, not just as a continent or a country, but as and the entire globe is still working on this. And it tells me a lot about what was normalized 50 years ago in the last generation, in our mother's generation. So much of that that's marriage. So much, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was so normal, and it's married people's issues. You can't get involved, you know with and it creates this sort of an isolation for the
Yeah.
person that's being abused, because who do you turn to?
Yeah.
And how do you get out of that mindset? We're still working on a culture and a society where therapy is normalized. By the way, whatever challenges I've experienced in the last, I want to even say 10 months, I started doing therapy. I
Yeah.
was just like, I can't do this alone.
Oh, it's 100% necessary.
Absolutely, and not enough people talk about it, especially in Africa. It's like some
Yeah.
kind of taboo thing, like you must be mentally, unstable to have to go to a therapist. And I'm just like, no, actually, a lot of people are having very difficult challenges on a day to day, and are not speaking to somebody who's not biased.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes that's the challenge, is going into a space where somebody doesn't necessarily know everybody or everything that's going on with. They have to hear it from you, your account, your understanding, your experience of what has happened, and give you advice from outside of the box. There's a lot of cultures that need to be changed, and we are getting better. I
Yeah.
will say this: we are getting better at that. But it's a long journey. In my lifetime, I'd like to see more gender-based peace. I'd like to see more gender-based equality. I think people are not understanding necessarily what feminism means. And I'm like, it means equality.
Yeah.
Is what it means. There'll always be the extremist that's ranting about how women are better than men. No, not necessarily. It's just the standards that we hold ourselves to are higher than men on a general day. But that's because of the conditioning of society. So there's a lot of things I'm passionate about, but
Yeah.
a lot of women empowerment, gender-based peace. I'm working on those two.
Yes, girl.
Yeah.
Thank you. We thank you, Ammara.
You are most welcome.
Who is a Zim creative that people should keep an eye on?
I'm gonna go out and say Selgum right now because
Yes.
I am rocking some threads. Like,
I know, how
so
great.
the one song I recorded while I was pregnant was actually with Selgum, and
Wow.
I hadn't even met him. I was here in Joburg, and Brian recorded us, or rather me. He recorded me, and I thought he was a dope artist. I was like, oh, this is a beautiful song, dope artist. But I had no idea of the level.
Yeah.
So I saw his music videos. That's what reeled me in. I saw his music videos. I'm listening to the sound. I'm like, dang, his styling is killing it. Like, this is just fantastic. The sound, it's giving international. You understand? And so then I met him like a few weeks ago. Man, what a humbling experience. He just got down on his knees and he cried, man. And it was crazy because he told me about way back in the day when I sent him an email saying, like, keep going. I want you to keep working on yourself, da da da. You've got the potential to do this and all this kind of thing. And like, I was like, I didn't even know I was a part of your story like that, fam.
Wow.
Like, I just think you're incredible. I had no idea we even had a connection that far back. I just thought what you're creating is so amazing. And I'm like, and he's like, I brought you gift. And I've got this amazing, like, beautiful
Yes,
piece. I was
Lord.
like, what?
Oh,
You
it's
made this?
incredible.
And it came with a beautiful jean bag. I'm like,
Yes.
no, no, you didn't. I just think he's meant for great things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's wonderful.
yeah,
He's so wonderful.
he's very down to earth. He actually reminds me a lot of my dad. With
Yeah.
just sitting and talking with him, I laughed from here to kingdom come.
Oh, we love
Shamari.
it.
I was just like, how are you this hilarious? But he reminded me of my dad. I was like, when's your birthday? He's like, I'm a Pisces. I was like, my dad was also a Pisces.
Yeah.
This makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Wears his heart on his sleeve.
Yeah. He's such a
Authentically creative.
an
Love it.
authentic person.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Oh, my love, this has been so good.
Oh,
I've had so much fun. And as a part of giving back with Hello High, we have partnered up with a non-profit called My Trees, who are planning on planting 1 million indigenous trees in Zim. So to say thank you, we're planting an Ammara Brown tree. And we'll plant it, we'll try get it somewhere. I'll see how close we can get it to Mosotho for you. But thank you so much for joining Hello High with
Thank
Gemma.
you so much for
This has
having
been
me. I'm
so
so
good.
proud
We
of
could
you.
talk forever. I
We
swear
could
this.
do this
We could
for
have like
3 hours.
a 6-hour episode.
But this is
we
how
really could.
this is how we are
is
in
how we
person.
were.
Y'all just happened to be here today.
We were doing this yesterday.
Yeah.
I love it. There's always more to say.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for joining. I'm so proud of you, so grateful for you, and I love you so much.
Thank you, sweetheart. So proud of you.
Yay.
Love you.
Love you.
My fairy.
I'm your fairy. My Ammara. Thank you so much for joining Hello High with Gemma and the amazing, amazing Ammara Brown. I'm sending so much love to you. Mwah.